Well, Bill and Melinda Gates released a statement which said divorce is not something to waste money on. Makes sense, but why do we end up doing it anyway? Let's talk about how to not waste money on divorce with Andrea Hips, a certified divorce coach. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, yeah, it makes sense, but we still do it, especially if this is not exactly a nice divorce, an amicable divorce. But how do we avoid that?
You know, the first thing is to really be realistic up front. And so tell your attorney what you're hoping the bottom line will be for you financially from the settlement. And then listen to what your attorney says is realistic. A good attorney is not going to promise you the moon just to get your business, right? They're going to tell you what's realistic. When you can operate from that space, you'll save a lot of money not chasing down trails that weren't believable to begin with.
So, yeah, so be realistic, but does that mean you've kept documents over the years? Some people might think, well, that was sort of planning for this divorce before it even happened.
Sure. I mean, you need to have your documents together. A lot of what we do when we're going through a divorce is paperwork and details. And so the more organized you are, the more you're going to save money and time with your attorney, right? We know that attorneys' bills can add up very quickly. Mm-hmm. We don't want to use them for our disorganization, nor do we want to use them for mental health, like therapy, counseling, coaching, right? Divorce is a team sport. It's played best when you bring in the right players at the right time, and that will definitely save you money in the long term.
So I get it, makes sense what you're saying, but when you're getting a divorce, a lot of times your emotions are so tied in here that all logic goes out the window. How do you separate the two?
Absolutely. The problem is when we start taking that emotional drama and start using the legal system to get emotional justice. You'll have your logistical divorce, which is going to have, who gets who what, who gives who what, and who pays who what, and how do we share the kids. But the emotional divorce can really be marked by feelings of betrayal and deceit and abandonment. And the problem comes when we start using the courts to get even for our emotional suffering, which not only adds up to our costs, but also keeps us from addressing the real problem of the emotional suffering to begin with.
Right. And one thing, the last thing you say is pick your battles. Again, this is all stuff that seems to make sense, but in the heat of the moment, my gosh, everything is an issue.
That's right. It's simple, but it's not easy. Yes, when we get into a place where all we're seeking is victory, we will be disappointed. Seek satisfaction. You will not win on 100% of the issues. You will not get it to go in your favor all the time. When you know that from the outset, you can really focus in on what matters, which will save you money and likely save you some sanity as well.
All right, doesn't have to be the War of the Roses. Andrea Hips navigating people through the divorce proceedings. Your website, by the way, is AndreaHipsDivorceCoach.com. If you didn't know you needed a coach, there you go. Thanks a lot, Andrea. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, Maureen. Have a good weekend.
Absolutely.